Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, dislicers, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, smart bombs. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And today I want to go back to Yemen. And this is part of my ongoing series about America can bomb wherever the hell it wants. And Yemen is another good example. And we know there's been drone strikes going on there pretty much for the last number of years. I'm not sure how many years it's been now, but several years. But these new airstrikes, like the ones we have in Libya and Somalia, are an example of this blank check that the Obama administration, the Bush administration, and Congress have authorized, basically giving them a blank check to go in any country and attack anyone they decide is a terrorist, whether it's Al Qaeda or ISIS or whoever. And we're seeing examples of how this broad stroke of legality for these airstrikes is being used now. Pretty much, we hadn't been in Libya for quite a number of years now since the so-called NATO invasion, and yet now we can just go back in there at will and bomb. And I don't want to single out the United States because clearly we've seen other countries bombing in a lot of other countries indiscriminately in that region. So it's hard to keep it all straight. But nonetheless, interesting development. So we have the representatives of the Council of Foreign Relations even mentioned that these are, quote, conventional war airstrikes, unquote, not targeted killings. So that's another distinction. These are actual combat airstrikes, and why we need to keep track of where this is going on, how many countries end up being on this list. It's part of the new American military global policy of preemptive strikes, and this whole move into the 21st century with that kind of policy. But anyway, this is the second airstrike in a month, so the other one didn't get much press, and now we have a second one, and they're claiming 200 or more killed at a, quote, terrorist training camp, unquote. And that's the same MO that they gave for Libya and Somalia as well, that they were bombing terrorist training camps where terrorists have been gathering. And it's kind of curious that it's a new development that they're going after terrorist training camps. I mean, you think they would have gone after terrorist training camps consistently because supposedly there's this war on terrorism. I'm not sure if you've heard about it. And but like I say, this is different from many of the low-level drone strikes that we've seen. And it also gets complicated because these targets are Al Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula. As I did a video recently, it appears the Saudis and the Al Qaeda elements have agreed on, made some sort of agreement where they don't attack each other, and Al Qaeda and Saudi Arabia are even combining forces in different assaults inside Yemen with so-called Saudi coalition troops and Al Qaeda. So once again, we find one of these curious situations where the United States is bombing elements that are ostensibly allied with one of our allies, Saudi Arabia. And here we go again. But like I say, here we go. The United States is bombing in Yemen now, and it can bomb wherever the hell it wants. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too?